We're ready to go. Yep.
All right. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Village of Almont Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for April 13th, 2023 to order, please. May I have a roll call?
Odieski,
Here.
Feldman, Roach.
Here. We have enough for a quorum.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is the chairman's introduction. Am I supposed to read this, Kim?
Well, I was going to ask your opinion on that. It's part of our bylaws that we have that in the agenda. But what I could do going forward is putting that memo basically on the back of the agenda.
I don't mind. It won't take long. We have a gentleman here anyway.
Sure.
So we could, he could listen to what we have, if you don't mind.
No, that's why I'm here.
Okay.
I'm hoping to be on the agenda next month.
Yes.
Okay. Chairman's introduction. The Zoning Board of Appeals functions as a quasi judicial body with specific powers and limitations as outlined in the various sections of Ordinance 193. The ordinance set the standards the board must use in reaching any decision. Once a decision of the board becomes final, only the circuit court can alter that decision. Article 12, Section 12.02 lists the major areas the board functions in. A, hear and decide administrative appeals or requests for interpretation regarding the Village of Almont zoning ordinance. B, hear and decide requests for variances. C, interpreting the ordinance text and map and all matters relating thereto whenever a question arises in the administration of this ordinance as to the meaning and intent of any provisions or part of the ordinance. D, permit or deny temporary building and use requests in conformance with Section 12.02.4. Then there's an appeal process. Appeal considerations by the board. Any person aggrieved by the Board of Zoning Appeals may appeal to the circuit court with appropriate jurisdiction according to the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act 125.3606. And then there's a public hearing process. Public hearings will be held in order of postponed cases first, then chronological order by date of new cases with the following process. The case will be introduced. A presentation will be made by the petitioner. The public hearing will be open to the audience. The public hearing will be closed once all members of the general public has had the opportunity to be heard. Questions by the board to the petitioner and any other persons necessary. There's board discussion, call for a motion, and statement of action to the petitioners. So if you're looking to be on, that would be the process we would follow if you come to us next month. Next item on the agenda is actually the approval. If I could have a motion to approve the agenda as is presented.
I'll motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Approval of the minutes of the March 9th, 2023 meeting. They're enclosed in your packet. And unless there are any changes or alterations, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on March 9th, 2023.
I would second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. We have no public hearing tonight. We have public comment. Is there something you'd like to ask us while you're here, sir?
No, I'm just here to observe.
Oh, okay.
Just wanted to see exactly the process. Hopefully I'll be here next month on the 11th.
Okay. Normally, we would have 3 members. One member couldn't make it tonight, but normally there would be 3 members. So if you do make it next month, then you'll see our faces again.
I printed all the paperwork today, so I hope to.
Okay, very good. We look forward to seeing you. No other public comment. New business, election of officers. Kim has included for us the 3 positions that are necessary, the officers that are necessary. One is the chair, one is the vice chair, and one is the secretary. Since there are normally only 3 of us, somebody's going to get stuck with a job. There's no 2 ways out. But I will ask, the first position is chair, and as you can see, there is a description of some of the duties and responsibilities. I'd entertain a motion for whomever you'd like to have as the chair.
I'll make a motion to nominate Tom to continue as our chairperson for the zoning board of appeals.
I will accept that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Second motion is vice chair, and I would make a motion to have Terry Roach be the vice chair. He did a great job at the last meeting, and that way we'll always be covered should something happen. So that would be my motion. You second that motion?
I'll second that motion
All
for
right.
nomination.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. That only leaves one position for our third member. I can make the motion. I would make a motion that Peter Feldman be indicated as secretary for the zoning board of appeals.
I'll second that motion.
All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. You can indicate to Peter that he'll be secretary. By abstention, he just
Yep,
wasn't
right.
here. That'll teach him he needs to show up.
Right.
Anyway, now Kim wanted us to bring up, and I don't know if that's something Terry and I should discuss, since sometimes we only have two, when we would normally have three, is it the council that is thinking of appointing another alternate?
Yes.
Okay, and I would not have a problem with that, because that would give us a little more latitude to always have three members.
And on bringing that up at next Tuesday's meeting.
Could we make a motion that we would indicate to council that we'd recommend having an alternate appointed if that's possible to the zoning board of appeals?
Yes.
Terry, you second that motion?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. And that way then if they have another council member, now that person will only cover if Peter can't come.
Right.
Okay. But that way then we would at least always have the possibility of having three members. That's our
But
extent.
if say I can't come
That
or
person,
you can't come, that person can't show up.
No.
Right.
And we are allowed two alternates. We just are struggling, trying to find
yeah,
volunteers to be that alternate.
okay. That would work out well. All right, we have no old business that I know of. Is there anything for us, Kim, of any kind? No? All right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned.